Welcome, everyone, and internet, to episode 28 of Sis and Big Pop's Culture.
Woo-woo!
I am Big Pop's Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art, and as always, my lovely co-host.
Hi, friends. I am Sis, aka Hannah Jo, and together we are an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly. So
Friendly for the family.
Indeed. Indeed.
So, one of my guys I follow on his podcast, he always calls everybody fam. Okay, fam. And they're taking like a 2-month break, and I'm like devastated. But anyway.
Aw, that is really sad.
Okay.
We are not taking a 2-month break.
No.
We took a couple week break.
But that was a while ago.
That was a couple weeks ago.
Now.
We back. By
back.
popular demand, LOL.
LOL. All right.
Okay, so today, as per the usual, you know what's up, our sweet friends. We are going to talk about some nerd news. We're going to talk about what we're binging and what Dad has pulled, what Big Pops has pulled for us from his comic stash. Indeedy do. And we're going to talk about The Incredibles 2, as well as
It's an incredible night.
As well as, Incredible Hulk. The Immortal Hulk, more like.
Yes. Immortal spooky Hulkness.
Spooky Hulk. We have been reviewing a lot of horror comics.
I know.
This
and
is
we're
apparently
family
supposed to
friendly.
be a horror comic. I didn't know that. I mean, I did. I just quickly learned as
Okay.
to why. But we're not there yet. We start with news.
No. Yes. News.
What do you have for us, Dad? Nerd news.
Hello, straight in from the news desk. This is Todd Turner reporting from Nerd News.
Desk. You're funny.
So, did you hear they're making
hear
a SpongeBob spin-off cartoon?
About what?
You just went to what?
I'm sorry, but why?
The Patrick Star Show.
Okay, is it going to be like Oprah? Because that would be funny.
It's going to be young Patrick Star at home doing his own talk show.
Okay, good.
Hosts a show as
Because
young Patrick Star.
I would watch that. That sounds hysterical.
Yeah. So
It depends. It depends.
I don't know.
Apparently, SpongeBob has gone downhill.
I haven't watched SpongeBob in forever. I don't watch it. I mean, I know SpongeBob, and a lot of his stuff is really funny. His stuff, like SpongeBob is a guy.
SpongeBob himself is writing the show.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there you go. Also, apparently Nickelodeon they're redoing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know, but Seth Rogen is producing it.
Okay, then it should be good.
But it's supposed to be...
I watched that weird one with Megan Fox.
Okay, but it's supposed to be... I don't know. I think it's supposed... That wasn't animated.
No, I told you I was making an aside.
I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be family friendly or not, but it's for Nickelodeon, so it's got to be Nickelodeon
then
friendly.
It is family friendly, man. That's how Nickelodeon
something
rolls.
of that nature. Something of that nature.
Yeah. Amazon bought MGM
Yeah, for like $9 billion.
$8.45 billion.
$1 billion.
I don't know what that has to do with anything. I just felt like it needed to be said. That's a lot
that's
of
craziness.
money.
Well,
Do
that's
you
because
remember?
everybody's going to own something now, you know.
Yep.
There's only going to be like 3 or 4 main.
Well, that's how it used to be with our news, the big 5 news things.
Actually,
I learned about
there
that.
were just
3.
just 3.
3, and then there were 5. Because I learned about that when I took Intro to Communications my freshman year of college, when I thought I was going to be a broadcast journalist.
And now you are. Full circle.
Just kidding.
Broadcast journalism.
In no way is this broadcast journalism. We've talked about how we are
Sure it is. Come on, our 6 followers.
We had 23 downloads.
What does that mean?
23 different people downloaded episodes.
It was probably me on 4 different phones. I don't know how that works.
Just to make sure it worked. That's
okay. Since we're talking about that and the animation stuff, so do you know what Garbage Pail Kids are?
Yeah.
Remember, I don't know, I had the stickers and I sold them all on eBay, which was dumb. I should have kept all my stuff I sold on eBay. That was a stupid idea.
I know, but anyway, all of it.
I know.
Or all of it. Anyway, I don't know. You get
Danny McBride. We talked about him because he was the voice of the dad in the Mitchells versus the Machines.
Yes.
He was also on like Hot Tropic Thunder. He's been in a lot of these movies. Anyway, he is writing and producing an HBO Max cartoon all on the Garbage Pail Kids. And it's supposed to be family friendly and all ages. So
that's funny.
I know, because I loved Garbage Pail Kids. They were so fun. They were like wacky packages back. So anybody who's my age, you know, I
know of Garbage Pail Kids. I never collected any of them, but I know of them.
I lived it. Dottie.
Don't quote the old to me, which I was there when it was written. I don't know. Aslan says something like that. Narnia. I watched that recently. Yes. Don't quote the ancient texts. I
don't know.
But he I was there. He growls at her. It was LOL.
Not that kind of growl?
Dad, no, I hated it. Please don't ever do that again.
Okay, I won't.
At least
okay, what else news you got?
There's a movie being made called Wonka about Willy Wonka.
Yes, I saw that with Timothy Chalamet. What the heck?
As Willy Wonka.
Oh, which, by the way, I just found out that the Dune movie is only the first half of the book. It's like Dune Part 1.
Oh, no. How do you feel about that, Dad?
Well, I feel a little bit better because one of the characters in Dune, that's really key to Dune.
Wasn't in any of the commercials?
They haven't even said who's been cast as
that makes a lot of, that book is a thick book. And that movie's a long movie. You going to pull out Dune?
I got Dune the book.
Yeah, I was going to say, thick. I've dusted that thing a multitude of times. It's a thick book. So, I know that it is.
The character of Fade Routha, who is basically the antithesis of...
the foil?
Yes.
Perhaps?
He played by Sting in the... Well, I don't know. I wouldn't call him the foil, but he's the antithesis.
No, that's what a foil is, right?
I understand that, but there's so many things that go up against him. We're going to just do an entire Dune episode one day.
I'm stoked.
I have the comic books.
I know you do because I found them.
Yes, at Court Day.
I found them at Court Day for you.
That was a good bargain. I wanted more books that day, but that guy was a turd nugget.
We're not allowed to say that word. You're allowed to say nug.
Nugget. He was a nug. He wouldn't deal with me. So I was
he wasn't going to finagle with you, was he, Pops?
Good riddance, fella.
Apparently I don't know what this means. And I didn't Google it. I could have Googled it. I just didn't want to. Apparently they're making a Highlander remake. Which is a movie that came out in 1986.
Stop. You don't know what Highlander is?
Should I know what that is? I know the Mel Gibson movie, Braveheart.
Yeah, no. Oh, we got to watch Highlander and talk about it.
Oh, okay.
You know a movie's going to be good if it starts in the parking garage during a Queen concert.
Oh, this isn't about Scottish people?
It is. But what happens is there is a group of people that they live forever.
Oh no.
But what they do is they go and they kill each one of them, and then the last person living then can live a normal life. But until then they live for each other, and they have to cut each other's heads off. It's a great movie. Highlander is fantastic.
They're doing a remake and Henry Cavill has been cast in it.
Oh yeah, well, he's Superman, so he was, not anymore. They got rid of him.
Yeah.
Is it Cavill or Henry Cavill?
Cavill. Cavill. Yeah, LOL at me.
Speaking of people who's now, how about Aaron Taylor Johnson being cast as Kraven the Hunter? Do you even know who that is?
Nope, I do not.
Okay.
Is that in Carnage? I see him behind you.
No, but I just put Carnage because Carnage. It was easy and it was light and I could carry it upstairs.
Well, there's more news about that movie, but I didn't write it down.
Okay, yeah, So Sony owns all the Spider-Man characters, which is why they're doing Venom and now Carnage. And so basically there's Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man.
Because
Mobius. Remember I talked to you about the
you did. I'm with you.
Like Dracula guy that Jared Leto is playing. Yeah, so these are all characters that spun out of the Amazing Spider-Man series.
Cool.
Kraven the Hunter is like fantastic. And he basically hunts Spider-Man. He hunts game. And it's really disappointing that we're going to have a Kraven the Hunter that doesn't hunt Spider-Man.
What is he going to hunt?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Are you sure it's not going to be Spider-Man?
Pretty darn sure. Yeah. And they chose the dude that played Kick Butt, and I can't say that other word since we're family friendly. And, he was in like Age of Ultron for 30 seconds and then got killed off.
And he was also in
the terrible Godzilla movie.
The first Godzilla movie was good.
It was above average.
The first Godzilla movie was not bad.
Okay, so the dude from Breaking Bad, they make it seem like he's going to be the big star of the movie, and then 30 minutes into it, they kill him. I thought that was a big letdown.
I didn't know him or care, I guess.
I cared.
I'm sorry.
Thought the weirdy thing about that is that the husband and wife team in Godzilla ended up being brother and sister in Age of Ultron, and I was like, I don't know.
We did have a conversation about that. That was really funny. That was one of the Olsen. That was an Olsen girl.
Did you hear they're making Temple Run into a game show?
I'm sorry.
Like one of those competitive games.
Like, what are you gonna do? Because it's just somebody.
I don't know.
Are you gonna have to run on a treadmill and like move?
I don't know, but it's by those people that do like American Ninja
extreme,
Warrior.
Okay, so exactly like what I said. Like they're just going to be on like
exactly
they're
what
just going to be running on like a really big treadmill and have to like swing on a thing. And I'm trying to remember Temple Run because that was when I was in like high school.
I remember Peter Hall doing the youth conference. And using Temple Run as a teaching tool. And it was the first time I saw somebody mirror something from an iPad up to a big screen. And I thought, how do you do that?
This is so cool.
What is this witchcraftery?
This is witchery.
It's just witchery. Woman witchery. I
want to know I'm going to have to go back and like watch that like 10-second clip from Narnia just to make sure. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm like hating on all the things you're saying today, Dad. But
no, I tell you what, I've got one you're going to like.
That's just when you said it was going to be like, I thought it was going to be like Ellen's Game of Games or something like that. And I'm like, that's just going to be lame. But if it's like Ultimate Ninja Warrior, then people are going to go hard on that, man. And I'm down for that.
That might be it. Yeah. I'm sure somebody's going to get hit in the head with something or in the privates and end up in a vat of water. I'm sure that happens on all of them.
Always, man.
So my last bit of news is that they are doing a Okoye, which is the head of the Wakandan Guard spinoff for Disney Plus.
Yes.
Did you see that?
She has the scene breakdowns of her fights and how she uses, because she's bald and she wears a wig. And the scene.
Oh, that was in that first movie.
So good.
I was like, that's terrible. Just let
it's just so cool.
There's bald women that look good bald. Just let them be bald. Don't make them wear a daggone.
There was the scene breakdown that somebody did about her like fighting style. It was like the director or I don't remember who it was, but I watched it on YouTube. It was really cool.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Toupee. I don't know.
That's exactly what it is, Dad.
That's what it's. That's
110%. That's what it is.
You got any more news?
No, I'm out of news.
Hannah, what are you watching? What's binge worthy?
So I moved. So those of you who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, clearly this is not the place you are used to seeing me in. This is my new living space. Here's my living room. I'm sitting at the dining room table because my Wi-Fi doesn't reach to my desk. It does, but I'm worried. I was worried about it. And so I decided not to take it.
Anyway,
so I was watching, I didn't really watch much. Finished a season of RWBY and shoot dang. Bonkers shenanigans.
Is that right?
Bonkers shenanigans indeed. I am 10 out of 10 here for it. I love it so much. The animation has gotten so much better. They did a revamp of all of their, what season? Season 5, I think. Season 5.
Okay.
And oh my goodness gracious. They changed their outfits and their outfits look really good. I'm a fan.
I'm not a big anime person. I try. I really do try.
This is...
I saw where Demon Slayer's getting Funko Pops.
Dope.
Yeah.
I am, you know what? I'm 10 out of 10 here for it. I think the story is really good. It gets progressively weirder, which I think is good because if it was this weird at the beginning.
Of all anime.
What?
You just named 95% of all anime.
It just gets progressively weirder. And I am like already into it. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure.
I got you.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. What? No. Like, it's just, here for it. 10 out of 10 here for it. And the fight sequences are so cool. And I love it so much. It's so good.
That's funny.
I haven't watched any Suits since the last time we talked. I watched a couple episodes of Gravity Falls just for background noise. There was an episode called Summerween, just like Halloween.
Okay, that sounded really inappropriate. I didn't know. I was like, what?
In the summer months.
Gotcha.
And it was really funny. The bad guy in that was all of the candy at the bottom of the bag that everybody throws out. It became a monster sitting in the dumpster because nobody...
Like a terrible peanut butter flavored candy in the black and orange rolls.
The black licorice and all of the stuff. And he's like, I am made of that candy.
I like that peanut butter stuff.
Cracked me up like an egg. I was cracking up. It was so funny. And it was spooky at first, and then it wasn't.
Gotcha.
So
I haven't been watching TV, really.
I'm trying to think.
It's
I think I watched a movie too.
I feel like I'm working outside all the time.
You have the pool done though, Pops.
No, not the area. It's got a lot of work to go. Yeah.
Well, it looks good from the pictures Mom's been sending.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We have watched Return to Me.
Oh, that movie.
I love that movie. It is so good.
Oh, man, it hurts my heart.
That's funny because it's all about a heart transplant.
Oh, no, that was awful. That was really bad.
If you guys have not watched Return to Me, people listening, you should. It's really good. And it's a sort of like a romantic movie.
I watched that when I was a kid,
comedy, but it is a comedy, but it's not. It has very serious issues. A guy loses his wife, but she donates her heart, and he ends up falling in love with the girl who received her heart.
Was the recipient.
That's why it's called Return to Me. And that is great. The movie is directed and stars by Bonnie Hunt. She wrote, directed the whole thing.
I didn't know she wrote and directed it.
Yeah. The old guys
are hysterical.
So Carol O'Connor and I believe Loja is in it. I can't remember. Anyway, he's like an Irish guy that owns an Italian restaurant. And they are so funny. There's like 4 of them and they play cards and everything. And it's really good. So we watched that. Nathan and I watched Dune again.
Yeah.
Sorry. Watched it again.
You don't have to be sorry for watching that. We watched a movie
on Disney Plus.
What was it?
Called Safety.
I saw that got advertised to me, but I didn't watch it.
It's based on a true story about a college football player who ends up, because of his brother getting ready to go into foster care, ends up taking guardianship of him and sneaking him into his dorm. Based on a true story by a Clemson football player. Yeah. Yeah. And then the NCAA are like, well, you can't do that. He's receiving benefits. And then they wanted to penalize the team. The NCAA is crazy. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Haven't really been watching any TV or anything like that. Just flipping through, just putting movies on in the background.
Mark said best David, I'm going to say this wrong. Duchovny?
David Duchovny.
Movie out there along with a great soundtrack.
Oh, it is a great soundtrack. So David Duchovny is also in like a weird movie with where it's like a sci-fi movie. I'm not talking about X-Files. David Duchovny starred in X-Files along with Karen.
Cool. You like that.
I did like X-Files for a while until he got till he was off the show and I quit watching it. But yeah, it is the best David Duchovny movie out there. I 100% agree with that. And Jim Belushi is in it. He's so good. I just love it. It's fun. Your mom and I laugh. We cry.
My favorite is the guy there at her restaurant for a date, and then his date is being a turd. And
she wants water, not
she
tap
wants water, but not tap water. And then she takes a water bottle, empties it out, and fills it with tap water. And the guy sees her doing it and is just kind of like, okay,
yeah,
girl, you go. And it's
and
good.
then the girl takes the water and sips it. She goes,
she's like,
no, this is delicious.
This is exactly what I wanted.
I wanted, and I was like, yeah, right. All right. That's
hysterical.
It.
Okay.
Comic book
pull
time.
list. What is a pull list, Dad?
So a pull list is a list of comic books that is way too long. That
you said that right when I was taking a drink of water.
Sorry, my pull list is like that. List past week was the most expensive pull money I spent on comic books at one sitting, I think, ever. And I was like,
you need to get a smaller pull list then, Dad.
I got it. How? And then I went literally. So a pull list is you set down a list of comic books that you want to get every month or when they come out. You give them to your local comic book shop owner, and he pulls them before they get put out in the normal stock, normal shelving. So, and my pull list is twice as long as it should be.
My pull list is just one comic, and I can go get it. I Googled it, and my comic should have come out, and so I think I can go get it. Though I still haven't read this because I don't. I think I can now.
Have 50 or 60 comic books on my pull list.
Daddy, that's a lot. I mean,
it's too many.
Maybe it's not a lot.
It is a lot. It wouldn't be a lot if I was getting paid to review comic books, but I'm not. So anyway, it was hard for me to pick because I had like literally a stack 3 inches tall. You get one comic, I got like 12, 13.
Well,
2 of them I haven't even got to read yet.
I really enjoy doing Wonder Girl. Like, I think I would have a fun time collecting hers.
Wonder Girl's good. So I'm going to run down just my top ones.
Run it down for us, Dad.
So
run
I
down
chose.
the pull list for us.
I chose. This is something too. I'm going to try to do this from now on. I chose 2 from the big 2.
Okay, love that.
Big 2 being Marvel Comics and
DC.
DC Comics because they have out the most. I'm going to do 2 independents and then my book of either my number 1 and my book of the week. So let me go with a Marvel book first.
Okay.
And this is issue 3. Marvel, we talked about it, has the rights to Alien and Predator.
Yes.
So the third issue of the Alien comic book came out, and this is by far the best Alien property use since the second Alien movie. The art is fantastic. The story is great. It is true to the original and the second movie. We get a pop-up of a character at the end, a big reveal at the end of a character from the original movies shows up to help the people. And the art is so good. This guy writing it, the guy drawing it's named Salvador LaRocca. And
cool.
Yeah. So I would suggest anybody who loves Alien, I would go out and get these and start reading these books because it's the best Alien thing. And I'm old, so I was there when they came out. You haven't even seen the first Alien movie. I haven't
seen any of them.
We need to watch the first one.
We need
to watch
know
Highlander.
that one of a girl gets pregnant, and an alien pops out of her belly.
No.
Right? Is that a different movie?
That's in the third movie.
Oh, then I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver is the star of these movies.
I know she's in like a mech suit or something.
That's in the second one. Yeah. Okay.
I know Sigourney Weaver's in a mech suit because it was really funny because she was also in a mech suit in Avatar.
There you go. Yes, that's funny. One of mine from DC, which I've talked about before, is Teen Titans Academy issue 3. It came out as well. We had briefly talked about the girl with the who had lost both of her legs, being a speedster. Remember?
Yeah, and she had special legs made.
Yes.
Cool.
Do you know who gave her the legs?
Iron Man. Nope. DC. No idea.
DC. Who is the worst possible person who will hold anything over you and make you to be on her team?
Catwoman.
Amanda Waller.
I don't know.
Suicide Squad.
Oh,
the lady who runs Suicide
Why
Squad.
does she got to be doing that?
Yes.
No,
but you really
ma'am.
come to find out it's a pretty much a tragedy that she was not born a double amputee, that like bad people did that to her.
Oh, that makes me really
And she's
sad.
Australian. But anyway,
Australian, mate.
this book, we get a lot of info on that. And the good thing about it is we actually see the students come together to fight and use some of their powers.
Oh, that's cool. So up
Gorilla
until now,
Greg. Gorilla Greg.
Gorilla,
They're
is he a gorilla named
somebody's-
Greg?
It is. Somebody says, there are intruders. There are intruders. And Gorilla Greg goes, there's this many
That
of them
way.
on this floor. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's so cool.
So I had two number ones from an independent. I'll go
Okay.
with the first one.
Can I guess Boom Studios or Image Comics?
One's from Vault and one's from Image.
Ha.
So these are my number ones, and they're both independents.
You're like
week.
book of the week? Book of the week?
No, not my book of the week.
Well, then that's
So-
not number one. Oh, you mean 1st
They're
issue.
number ones. They're my
Okay,
favorite number ones.
You said these are my number ones, and I was like, oh, these
They're
are
my
my
number
two
one
favorite
issues.
things. But we
it.
were using different words
Gotcha.
to mean this is different. Same word to mean different things. That's what I
So
meant.
this is from Image Comics. It's
Okay.
it's a comic book called Made in Korea. And
Cool.
it's set in the future where people can't have children, and
Okay.
they are buying AI children.
Oh, I hate it.
So it's
Made
sort
in
of like there was a
Korea.
movie called AI. Right. So they're made in Korea, correct. But what happens is there's like, we don't really know the full story. And I don't know if my pull list can necessitate
Grow.
me continuing to read this, but I really want to because I'm intrigued by the first issue. One of the people who does software work on them has been trying to figure out this algorithm. We don't know what it's for, what it's to. Could it be a cure for why these people aren't having children? Does it have something to do with the way the robots work? What is it? We don't know. But he finds the solution on his own little project while he's at work.
Oh, no. And so intellectual property
So-
rights.
Exactly.
Oh,
So-
no. That's oh, no.
So what he does is he erases it all.
And tries to do it again, but it can't duplicate it.
No, he downloads it, deletes everything, and uploads it all into one of these children that gets shipped out to the United States.
Oh, no.
Yes, and the child awakens, sees the parents, and doesn't. So we don't know what's going on.
Oh,
So-
no.
But it looks really cool.
That seems interesting. Well, I'm having like thoughts about shoot, Dad. I can't remember what the movie was.
There was a movie
watched
called
it.
AI. There was a movie called
that's
AI.
not that movie. It was this girl. She had giant eyeballs, and she was like half.
Oh yeah. Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah, that one.
That was a good movie. I liked it.
I watched that during quarantine while I was finishing knitting a sweater.
Okay. There
I
you
have
go.
a visceral
Thank you,
memory about
quarantine.
it. That's what I'm thinking about this, and I liked that movie. I was here for it.
My favorite number one of the week is the Blue Flame number one
By
by
Vault.
Vault Comics. And this is basically a superhero team. Well, it starts out as a superhero team based in Milwaukee, but they don't have really any powers. They're just like regular people, sort of like from the movie Kick Bleep. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
But this guy, the Blue Flame, is a heating and air conditioning guy. Works on
I
boilers,
love that.
like how,
Like like the
Pawpaw.
pilot light.
like my dad.
Well, no, like the blue flame is a little
Yes,
pilot light.
exactly. So what happens is this book takes place in two different spots. One is on Earth and one's up in space. He's in space somehow, flying around, gets captured. It falls back and forth between these. And then he's back, and then he's on Earth, and he's with his other people in the group. There's like different people in the group. There's like 5 or 6 of them. And they're like going to like a mall to sign autographs, just for signing autographs. Well, someone comes in, terrorist like shoots up the place.
No.
And then it falls back into space, and you find out that the Blue Flame is being put on trial in space
Space trial?
for humanity, like all of humanity. Remember how
Oh,
Q
like
did this?
Q.
in Farpoint
Me
Station.
and you had the exact same thought at the exact same
I was
time.
like, but they're like, do you understand? And then he opens his eyes and he's like on life support and he's like, I have to save the world or something like that. And like, so I don't know what's going on.
That sounds really interesting, though.
I'm going to continue getting this one. I'm not for sure about the. That's my number one of the. That's my number one of the week.
Okay, what's your book of the week? What is
No,
your
I still
book of-
got two. I still got one from DC, one from Marvel.
Okay.
My other Marvel favorite is, of course, issue 3 of Beta Ray Bill.
Oh, you and Beta Ray Bill right now. I'm here for it,
It is
Dad.
fantastic. Gosh, it's great. It's like looking at a heavy metal record album from the 70s or 80s. The art in it is fantastic. The story is good. The whole thing about his ship being in love with him now that she's sentient, and it's just really cool. Okay? I know that's weird. That's all. But see, and here's a good thing about it. Are you ready? Beta Ray Bill's only 5 issues. So I'm like, well, if I can just do 2 more, it drops off my list. Right? Speaking of something that's going to drop off my list, this is issue 10 of 12, Strange Adventures. We had briefly talked about Strange Adventures, yes, by DC, because I had talked to you about Mr. Terrific being the one trying to do the detective work, finding out how Adam Strange. Anyway,
Yes.
So you come to find out that I think his wife has been behind this all along.
Oh, no.
All along.
Does she hate him? Why?
No, she's trying to save her planet. In trying to save her planet, this is just my thought. In trying to save her planet, she basically offers this other alien race Earth.
Oh.
And as a down payment, she allows them to keep her daughter, who she told Adam Strange, her husband, is killed by them.
Unacceptable behavior. Unacceptable behavior.
Yeah.
I'm yelling. I'm
Anyway.
yelling about you.
Yeah. So Strange Adventures. This is by Tom King. In his books, it takes 12 issues before you can understand what they're all about. And so I've got 2 more.
Well, that's kind of thing is fun though, right? It can be an adventure.
It is. It's a strange adventure. It's what I just said. So my book of
the
week, 2 Moons, issue 4 by Image Comics. This is the comic book about the American Indian, the Native American Indian in Civil War times who can see the demons.
Yes.
And
we've talked about this before.
right. This is and again, this is just 5 issues. So next time this book comes out, it falls off my list. See? Which is good because it's a complete story. And so they bring him back, they put him in jail to be hung. And they put him in jail next to another guy's in jail, and that's a demon. You could see him, nobody else can.
No.
But what happens is like the evil comes out, and the people that are there with him can now see them too. So now they're like,
Oh no. Oh
So-
yeah.
this is a great story, but it's a horror story. Okay.
Well, what I'm learning from our time reading trade paperbacks, Dad, is that they seem to be the best art and some of the best stories.
Well, I think we need to do something like 7 Secrets. That's a fun one.
I'm down.
And that
I want to read that, and I want to read Wind, and I want to read
Homesick Pilots.
Homesick Pilots.
Yeah, I agree. Those are 3 good ones.
Those are
If
the
anybody's
3
not
ones
reading
that I
those,
want
you
to
should
read.
read those.
And they're coming out in trade paperbacks.
The next issue of Wind came out. So
I want to read Wind. I want to read
And it's
it.
really good.
Oh, and it's Pride Month. So that will be a fun thing to read.
there you go. We could do that.
Dee.
So that's my comic books. So there you go.
I'm liking
Book of the
I'm
month,
liking
2
this.
moons.
I'm liking this 2 from Marvel, 2 from DC, 2 of your favorites from another, and then a book of a week. I like that. I like
I'm
that.
going to have to
vibe.
because it gets too many if I go any other way. It's just too overwhelming.
I have my list for our blurb.
So we watched a movie,
Yeah, we did.
and all
Kind of together.
I was just depressed
What
watching the movie.
What?
Incredibles 2.
Why did that make
Because
you
I keep thinking, watching Incredibles 2, how good of a Fantastic Four movie each of these Incredible movies would have been. I am such a fan. I mean, I'm sitting there watching Elastigirl going, Mr. Fantastic could do that. Why in the world aren't they doing that? You know, Ben Grimm. I mean, So we watched Incredibles 2.
Yes.
We were and when Hannah moved, we had a hotel room for one night, and it was on, and we watched part of it, and then I finished it here at home, and
Same.
Hannah finished it at her place.
Yeah.
So
This movie is just so good.
all I want to be is a good dad.
We love these movies.
Give the premise first.
Okay.
Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 1.
Hold on. I'm going to forget it. Just hold on. Okay. So, and at the end of the first Incredibles movie, when they all get their powers, the guy that comes up out of the ground is the Underminer. And everybody knows that
villain.
It's the freaking Mole Man from the first issue of Fantastic Four. All right, I'm done. I'm done with my Fantastic Four rant. Just let Brad Bird write the Fantastic Four.
One of my
movie.
favorite things. Well, here's the thing, Dad. I remember from my childhood because the first movie came out 17 years ago. At this point, 18 or 19 years ago. Like it came out.
It didn't come out.
It was 17 years from when it came out to when I think 17 or 15. Yeah.
All right, we'll keep going.
Well, here I'm gonna Google it.
Oh, no, don't Google it. You tell the deal.
Incredibles 1 came out in 2004. Incredibles
this came out in
2
2018.
Came out in 2018. So 14 years, excuse
14 years. Wow.
I was off by 3 years, but it was 14 years.
And I've been griping since 2004 for
in
2004 I went off
for a good Fantastic Four movie.
And then every time a Fantastic Four movie comes out, I go off. And then when the second one comes out, I go off. And when we rewatch it, I go off.
Dad,
Incredibles 2, give us the lowdown.
We're predictable. So Incredibles 1, it follows Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible. They get married. They have children. After they get married, before they have children, Incredibles become illegal.
Correct.
Like not Incredibles, but like superheroes become illegal. Mm-hmm. And so in the first movie, Mr. Incredible
superheroes.
They like redeem superheroes, but they're still illegal.
Correct.
At this point.
Right.
The second movie starts off and they became like the family unit becomes more of a unit. In the end of the first movie, they are more like learning how to rely on each other, like come into their own strengths as individuals and as a family unit.
And they support each other in their individuality.
Yeah. That's a great way to say it, Dad. And so the second movie is them trying to make superheroes legal again.
Like there's a company wanting to do that. DevTech wanting to do that. Correct.
DevTech wants to make superheroes,
which is a brother and sister.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Winston.
I don't know. And they decide as the face to use Elastigirl and not Mr. Incredible.
Because
which means
her numbers are better. She destroys less things.
They destroy less things. And so Mr. Incredible becomes
Bob
Parr becomes a stay-at-home dad with a girl in high school.
A high school girl going on her first date, a middle schooler who's learning a new way to do math, and a baby who hasn't speak.
Who at that point they don't think has any superpowers yet.
But he clearly does at the end of the first movie.
But they didn't see that. They never saw that. We saw it, but the family didn't know it.
The family didn't know it.
Right.
And so
Jack. Which, by the way, is Franklin Richards, who is one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe. And Jack is multiple powerful.
He can do everything. Jack can do everything. Jack, laser eyes. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. So what happens is you come to find out that the villain's name is Screen Slaver because if you look at a screen, you become enslaved and they can make you do whatever you want.
Yeah, you get like hypnotized.
And really the whole entire purpose is a setup to set up the superheroes
so that they never will become legal
for
again.
all time. Mm-hmm. And yeah. So the worst part of the movie, I'm just going to say that right off the bat, is the villain. Because I thought her reason for being the villain
was lame.
They just was lame.
I get it.
I get it too, but still, I mean,
the thing is they don't know everything setup. Because the reason that Gazer Beam and the other guy had been couldn't answer was because from the first movie because they were taken by Syndrome.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. Because what happens in this is that her father passes away, won't go into the safe room because he believes in superheroes to come save them. But I don't know. I thought she was lame.
I don't know. I mean, the screenslaver.
All you
thing
got to
was
do
pretty
is
cool.
take the quit. Yeah, I got you. Sort of like Deceased. You don't want to look at a screen, or you become the. And
thought
she
that
could
was
not
pretty
just.
cool.
Yeah, she couldn't just enslave. She could enslave anyone who looked at a screen that she was broadcasting through. Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like the first time I watched it, I was like, I don't know who the bad guy is. I couldn't decide if it was the guy or the girl. I was leaning more towards the guy.
Girl, oh no.
And then
look
it
at
was
the
the
girl's
girl.
eyes. She looks like she's tired all the time.
Well, she's in charge of all of the design stuff.
Do you know why she's tired all the time? Because she's looking at a screen all the time. That's why her eyes are like that.
A slave to the screen, Dad.
She's a slave to the screen.
She's a slave to the screen.
The good thing about this movie is we get to see a lot of fun family stuff with the Pars. That
Which
the
we're
mom
here
is
for.
gone, which is a
The
bummer.
mom is well, the dad was gone in the first movie.
You're right, all the time.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about, most parents are like, oh, I want to be there for my son or daughter's first steps. And basically they want to be there for when his powers show
Powers
up.
show up.
And listen, Jack's powers are,
With the
you
raccoon.
name it, he can do it.
With the raccoon.
He gets in a battle with a raccoon, the little baby does. Jack's a baby and is fighting this raccoon.
Well, he's
Hilarious.
like watching this old timey movie with his dad. His dad's
Who's
not. His dad
asleep.
is asleep. He's like, this kid will not go to bed. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go to sleep here. And then so he sees a robber, like an old school robber with like the mask
the
on,
mask,
like
yeah.
with the stripes. And then he sees a raccoon, and he's like, oh, bad guy. And then
Yes,
he goes
and he goes after him outside.
Yeah.
And you name the power, he has it. He becomes an angry
Demon
goblin.
baby.
Demon baby, they call it.
They call him demon baby.
fire. He multiplies himself. He floats. He can go through things. He makes
He has
himself big.
telekinesis.
You never realize that.
He
that
has
happens just
telekinesis.
once. Yeah.
Is that what it's
And,
called? Because he moves
that's when
the goggles.
Yes.
He can
Yeah.
move things with his mind. He can become rubber,
Yes. And he gets really big.
and
at the
he can
end.
go to a different dimension, and he can walk
Yes.
through things.
Yes, that is so funny. That's all we know of so far. That whole part, Bob can't handle it. The dad can't handle it. He takes him to Edna Mode, who's like doesn't do.
She's
children.
the
I'm not a
best.
babysitter, darling. What does she
And
say about
voiced
parenthood?
by Brad Bird.
Yes, she says something about parenthood.
If done correctly, it's a heroic effort, a heroic
Done
feat.
correctly, it's a heroic feat. Done correctly,
Like
he
Bob,
says.
you can't. You
Yeah.
suck, guy. Like,
I will
you're
not
no
do
good at
this. And then, oh, that's another thing that Jack can do. He looks at her and makes
And
his
transforms
nose
his
like
face.
hers. No, yes. And when Bob goes back to pick him up, and she's like got her cigarette, and Jack's got his
lollipop.
And then
He's just like walking
takes
like
him
Edna
up
walks.
and holds his.
Blah, blah, blah.
He puts his hand on the thing. He looks at his eyes, and then he speaks. He goes, "Yeah, like you said, blah 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 blah." And it's like voice recognition.
And it opens.
I love
Oh,
that
there's a
part.
short. We didn't watch it, but if you're like listening to us talk about this, and you're like, the only cool thing about that you're talking about, Sis and Big Pops, is Edna and Jack. Well, you can go watch a short of Edna babysitting Jack and what ensues.
Oh, I can't
Wow.
wait! I didn't watch it. I'll have to watch
It's
it.
hysterical.
I love that. That was great. And Bob accidentally they accidentally erased
Tony.
Violet's boyfriend's memory.
Who is supposed to be Steve Jobs?
Oh, really?
His like character design is based off of Steve Jobs
I could
because
see that with the glasses and the turtleneck.
and the hair, yeah, because they
Hannah
talk
mentioned
about that.
something neat to me while we were watching the movie.
What?
At one point, Elastigirl calls home to see how everyone's doing. She's in a hotel, and there's a piece of art behind her.
Yeah,
And it's like abstract art. And it shows like 4 pieces on one side, and they gradually go down in size, and then one piece like middle size way off on the other side, and that represents her being separated from her family. I thought that was really cool.
yeah. The art design in this is extremely clever and is very
It's
good.
Pixar. What do you expect?
Pixar is phenomenal.
But you know
Pixar
what?
is next
I don't know that
level.
I've watched much Pixar since they got bought by.
That's not
Disney.
true. We've watched all of them.
No, I watched Soul,
That's it.
and I was okay with it. I didn't think it was great, like
Isn't
some
Coco
people think it was.
Pixar?
Yeah, is that owned by Disney too?
Yeah,
I mean, was that a Disney owned when it came out?
I think so.
No. Well, I don't know.
Dad's like, don't Google it, Hannah. I'm Googling
I know
it.
you and the Google. You either Google TikTokers or something.
Excuse you?
Yeah, you do.
I do. I love it.
Anyway,
Monsters University was good. Coco was good. Incredibles 2 was good. Onward was
agree.
phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I take that back. I did like Onward. All right, so take it back. Take it back now, y'all.
Toy
One hop,
Story
two
4
times.
was Like, be done with the Toy Story movies,
Toy
man.
Story 4 was. I love Toy Story 4, but you got to realize you got to let Buzz and Woody go.
Yeah, you just gotta we gotta be done with Toy Story movies, man. We just gotta let that be finished.
I don't think so. I
remember
think they're going to keep coming.
and they don't stop coming, 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 and they don't. Well, they're doing
But I
Lightyear, and that's gonna be cool.
I liked in Incredibles 2 that we get some new characters. Listen, that
Void.
girl, that's a bad. I love that.
That's a
Great
cool power.
And
That's
she
a
really had
cool
it down.
power, man.
There at
She
the
knew
end,
how to
Void,
use it.
The Void character created portals, transportation portals, sort of like Blink in the X-Men.
Yeah.
So you would go in and come out, same place or whatever, or a different place. or
Dash
whatever.
running.
Dash
Just
was
going through
to
the portals.
same place, the same things. Like, wait a minute. But at the end, when Elastigirl's trying to save someone at the end, and Void is like trying to save her because they're getting ready to hit the ground, and she would throw a portal and catch her, and then she would come back down and do it again and do it again, and then she's like, make a parachute. She's trying to will her to create a parachute, and she does it. And as she does it, she hits a thing and she
voids
lands
her somewhere else. Yeah.
onto the boat.
Those people's powers were really cool.
Even the old
Except
guy throwing puke.
Reflux, that was gross.
That wasn't gross.
It was gross.
The funny thing was he was an older dude. I liked that.
No, it was cool that he was an older guy. And it was interesting because they had like people that looked like people, but people that looked like not
Yes.
people.
I didn't like the owl dude where his head would turn around.
Creepy.
That was creepy.
That was creepy.
All right. Anyway,
I liked this movie.
I do too. It's PG.
The Incredible
if you've
movies
not
are just
watched
really
the Incredible
good.
movies, there is a little bit of apparel. And I don't mean clothing, but there is clothing. They do all
That's
wear clothes.
apparel.
And Edna Mode is exclusive costume
exclusive designer.
Exclusivity of Elastigirl.
For always and eternity, Dad.
Eternity. And Frozone. He's back in it. Samuel L. Jackson's back in it too. And his wife's hollering at him
Honey,
again from the...
where's my super suit?
Why do you need to know? It's for the greater good.
I am your wife.
That's from the first movie. Go back and watch the Incredible movies. They're both on Disney
They're
Plus.
really good.
If you don't have them, ask. You can borrow ours. Because, like I said, they're the best Fantastic Four movies ever made. There you go. I'd give it
5 out of 5 for sure.
5 Jack Jacks.
5 Jack Jacks. We don't need 5 Jack Jacks.
Yeah, we
Perhaps
do. He's so cute.
5 Incredibles.
Oh, that was awesome too. We didn't even talk about the Incredible.
Dope.
The Incredible Incredible. Anyway, the car was awesome. I'd hate to have been the guy that bought it.
Jack, no. Dash with his hand behind his back just pushes.
Yes,
Summon.
summoned. I was like, the car's coming. I can't wait.
I'm like, yes, here we go. I'm like screaming in my house by myself, like, this is so
He goes,
good.
Oh, and I love Dashes. He goes, oh. I wish
He goes,
it could be
yeah,
a boat.
baby. He says,
Wish
yeah,
it could
baby,
be-
a lot. But I think
could
that
be
the
a
reason he says
boat.
that is because his dad says that.
Oh, really? I never noticed. He just wants to be his dad. And Bob Parr, he struggles through all of it, and he says, all I want to do is be a good dad.
He does. He just wants to be good
Wore out.
daddy.
And he sleeps for 17 hours straight. The kids let him sleep for 17 hours straight. All right.
His
Hannah-
eyes just get progressively more and more
that
tired.
is so
throughout.
tired. He looked like the chick who was the screenslaver at the end of it.
Daddy.
So Hannah and I read another trade paperback that is available for free on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
And that's probably why we're doing most of these is because they're free. And yeah, we can.
It
both
was
read them.
good though.
This was the Immortal Hulk. We read like the first 8
10.
to 10 issues
10
of the
Easy.
Immortal Hulk. The thing about the Immortal Hulk is I think they're about on issue 50. This Immortal Hulk run will end.
Really?
And a new writer, I believe, is taking over. So we read the first so many issues of the Immortal Hulk. And this was in 2018 voted here's the Vulture, Paste Magazine, GameSpot, the AV Club, Polygon, The Beast, Comic Book Herald, Wired, Horror Talks, comicbook.com, IO9, Newsarama, Hollywood Reporter, all
like
voted
the
it
best?
the best of 2018.
Really?
Which is what we read. They voted it the best horror magazine.
Again,
so this
horror
is
comics.
Horror comic. A lot of what I would call
they say
body dysmorphia. Would you call it that?
Yeah.
Not so much here until it really gets wonkified as you go on.
Yeah.
There was one issue we read where they had him all cut up into pieces.
That made me think of Swamp Thing.
Yes, me too. Me too.
It felt very Swamp Thing to me.
Yeah. So this follows the Incredible Hulk, who then he's beginning to realize, I can't die.
What does that do to you think?
When it has something to do with the green door. Did you catch that?
Yeah, which again felt very much like Swamp Thing.
Oh, just because of the word the green.
Well, because there was this like thing that was within him that was calling to him and that he felt the need to protect in some way. Mm-hmm. Except for the Hulk, I don't think he needs to protect the green door. I think he needs to protect humanity from the green door.
Yeah. But I think before this is over, we still don't know who's in control of the green door yet.
Really?
Yeah, we thought it was the leader, which is the bad guy from the movie, and major villain, but it isn't the leader. We thought it might be his father's conscience.
Yes, because in the comic, it seems like it's his dad.
His dad is evil.
Which is so sad, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that made me so sad that he was like punching some guy and was like, this is my dad. I'm like, oh no, I want you to have a good relationship with your dad. That's a formative relationship.
A lot has happened. To be honest, I had never read these first issues.
Really?
I have them. Yes, because I started collecting the Immortal Hulk at issue 17.
Interesting.
I went back and purchased them all.
Okay, and didn't read them?
And didn't read them.
Interesting. You just wanted
Huh?
I get that though. I get wanting the collection.
Yeah.
I get
I did. I wanted
it.
the whole collection.
I get it.
And so I went back and read these and I was like, I should have done that a long time ago because it makes what I'm reading
Does it
now
make a lot more sense?
a lot more sense. The issue with if you hop into the Incredible Hulk, the Immortal Hulk right now, it's hard.
They got progressively again weirder.
Yes.
They like
Weirder
the
and
first
weirder.
couple ones I was like, okay, yeah, I can jive with this. Like this makes sense to me. It's a little bit weird, but I'm here for it. And then it just kept getting weirder and weirder. And then we got the Avengers in there and I was like, oh no, this is not good.
No.
This is not good.
No. He doesn't need he can do whatever.
He's this bad.
Because the Hulk is immortal.
Good.
Yeah.
And them being all like, it's the nighttime. You know that he's in charge at night. I'm like,
Yeah, because originally that's what
Stop it.
happened. Originally that's what would happen. Bruce Banner would be him during the day and the Hulk at night.
and apparently he had like some like significant head trauma, and that makes him think that now the Hulk is smarter than him.
Well, okay, so he has dissociative identity disorder,
Interesting.
straight up.
So you think he has multiple person? Like you think like
I don't think at
Hulk
all.
is a multiple personality of
Multiple
his?
personality, yes. And I'd never thought of that before until last year there was a Carnage, not King in Black.
Are we talking about Fist of Khonshu?
No. I'm talking about the Incredible Hulk,
Because
the Immortal
Moon Knight.
Hulk.
Okay.
We did talk about Moon Knight, but last year there was it was called Absolute Carnage.
Yeah.
which
Which is now a
And-
thing.
Right. So what happens is Venom tried to join. We talked about this.
Yes,
with
and
the
said
Hulk,
we are Hulk.
with the Hulk instead of we are Venom. And there was an issue that came out called, it was Immortal Hulk. It was a one-shot, Absolute Carnage Immortal Hulk, issue 1. And it is, the comic book takes place in a manner of like 2 seconds. But what happens is...
Oh, and it's the internal dialogue with
it's the
Venom and
internal
Hulk.
dialogue with all of the Hulks, all of the Hulk's personalities.
What?
Like there's Bruce Banner talking to Joe Fixit, talking to the Red Hulk, talking to this Hulk, and they all are going to vote on whether they're going to let this other personality
Let
in.
Carnage
No,
or let Venom. Ooh.
Yeah. We're going to take a vote, and I should have got that issue because it's like the vote is like 3-2 with 2 abstaining or something like that.
You can abstain to vote?
Yeah, but people do it all the time. They'd abstain by not being there or not showing up or whatever, not coming to the discussion. But it made it sound like Bruce Banner, the Hulk, had like
Weird.
8 or 9 personalities.
That's really interesting.
And of course, they vote to allow Venom in, and that's when they
because
say
we are
Hulk instead of we are Venom, which is what he would say because the Hulk is
Interesting.
So this is a comic book that if you're going to hop into, I would hop into it.
From the beginning.
I would read the beginning. And it's free on Amazon Prime if you have Amazon Prime. If not, I'm sure you could find the trade somewhere. But if you got Amazon Prime, do that.
Yeah,
the art is gorgeous.
The art is very beautiful.
And as it progresses from the issues that I started
Weirder
collecting.
and weirder.
Yes, and the body horror. Like
Yes.
his arms and faces and
the red thing that he fights with the spine.
yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, and he because he fights the Absorbing Man.
Blah.
Remember the Absorbing Man?
It was gross.
The guy with the ball and chain that absorbs stuff.
Yeah, it was.
Do you remember him from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
What season?
Towards the end. Like
Because I didn't finish towards the end. Because
it wasn't the last 2 or 3.
Dad,
it was before they went into outer space. It was before they went into outer space.
I didn't watch when they were in the computer simulation because I knew it was going to make me angry. And I didn't watch Ava either because I knew she was going to make me angry too.
It was
so
around
I just
that time.
didn't watch it.
It was around
I
that
skipped
time.
it.
Yeah.
Which I
But the
shouldn't have
Absorbing
because
Man-
now Fitz has like this. He needs to go to therapy. He has trauma. He needs to go to therapy.
Yeah. They all need. Everybody needs to go to therapy.
Yeah.
I said, I think that there would be a good comic book where we take all the comic book characters with all these mental illnesses that like are really, and they are their own superhero team. It would be interesting. It'd be villains and superheroes. So I was thinking like Iron Fist, not Iron Fist, but Moon Knight, the Hulk, Typhoid
Legion?
Mary. She has a split personality. Legion. Exactly. Mad Maximus, who is
you said Mad Max, and I was like,
I know
wrong
his name's
franchise,
Maximus.
my guy.
It's Maximus the Mad. Yeah, and be led by
That makes me sad.
by Leonard Sampson, who's Dr. Sampson, who's a psychologist, psychiatrist that is also gamma positive. He's also Anyway,
Interesting.
I know that's my
I
comic
don't know.
book. So if anybody would like me to throw that pitch out there to you, Marvel.
Yeah, the HBO executives that watch the 6 HBO execs that listen to this.
This
I
would be
mean,
Disney Plus.
they could come up with their own people that are the exact same, but that are just a little bit different.
They already have. It's called the Doom Patrol. That I've seen. I hate to mention that I love that show, but I feel like I should take a shower every time I watch it. Oh gosh! And I don't know when they're going to come out with another season. It is so good.
Funny.
Anyway.
funny. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was strange. Oh my goodness!
It's not something you would read.
The dad of the
His dad?
son.
Tell me what
The
you're talking
chain, the grief chain, and people would go to grieve their people, and because the son had gamma radiation, the
Yes.
people would then die.
But the dad knew it.
And the dad knew it. And so Hulk just left him there under rubble? What?
Yeah, that was bad.
Man.
There's actually a new comic book coming out by the guy who writes this currently, Al Ewing, called Gamma Flight, which is
Didn't they talked about that in the first 10. I read about Gamma Flight. It's
Yeah. Gamma Flight originally was a spinoff of an X-Men comic. So the X-Men were the mutants here, and then there was Alpha Flight, which were a Canadian superhero team.
Yes, because his name was on that, and then he was on Gamma Flight.
Puck. And Walter Langowski, who is Sasquatch.
Yes.
Yeah, Puck is the smaller guy.
I was talking about Sasquatch.
And Sasquatch, right. Walter Langowski. And yes, so that's where Gamma Flight originated from. But now Gamma Flight is like a group that goes after gamma irradiated creatures or people.
Well, that seems to be which was what they were supposed to be based on the first 10 that we read.
Correct. Yeah. But their part in the book is really stepped up quite a bit here recently. So
cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was interesting. I didn't hate reading it. I enjoyed reading it, and I didn't stop reading it. I haven't
They're
done that yet.
saying that this is probably the best Hulk run of all time.
I really liked the one that we read, the Maestro.
Oh, Future Imperfect.
I really liked that.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's not creepy like this. Yeah,
I like that better than this, I think.
Yeah. Next week, we're not reading a horror comic. We're going to read a fun one.
Are we doing some next week?
Let's do it Tuesday night like this.
Okay, dope. I'm down. Bring it.
Prime time. Assistant Pop prime time.
Bring it on.
So that's all I got.
Cool
Thanks,
beans.
folks. Anybody who made it to the end, share, rate, and review with 17 stars.
7. If there are no 7, I'm just kidding. I don't even know.
If there are no 17-star option, then rate and review it 3 times with 5 stars on 3 different accounts. And that way we'll have 3 more downloads.
You were hysterical.
If you're going to rate and review negatively, then we don't want to hear from you.
Oh, Daddy.
Oh, I would love to hear, just, hey, this is what I think would be cool if you guys did. And people have done that. People said, hey, you guys should read the Invincible comic book and talk about it. And guess what?
We did it. Tell us what you'd like for us to read and we'll talk about it. Or movies.
Yeah.
I love movies.
There's some movies I won't see. So if you send me something, I'm going, I ain't watching that. Don't feel bad. I'm not going to yuck someone else's yum. That's something I heard. Have you ever heard that before?
Yes, Daddy.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was like
that.
All right.
No. Why'd you deflate like that? I've heard that.
I'm not
I've
deflated.
heard that saying before.
It's because I'm in a low chair. I'm trying to sit up straight the whole time.
Yeah, I'm trying to sit up straight too. My shoulders are hurting. Okay.
Well,
End roll. Okay, friends, thank you so much for listening. Hey, our art is created by Nathan Dean Turner. He is my little brother, Dad's son. He did it in Microsoft Paint. He's a phenomenal artiste. Thanks for doing that for us, bud. Our theme music is created by Brockwell Nason, soon to be wife.
Married.
Soon to be married guy. Woo! Congratulations to you, my
marriage, love. And marriage. Anyway.
Our YouTube channel is maintained by the Dear Pops. He's making a face.
I might not have downloaded anything in a while. We only have one person watch it. So
and
if it's supposed to rain tomorrow, I'll do it.
I edit and upload the podcast. We are so glad for you all to hang out with us. We enjoy chit chat with each other and having you all hang out with us wherever it is, whatever it is you're doing, my friends. I hope you're having a
great time. Yeah. We love you guys.
Yes.
Have a great rest of the day or night. We don't know.
That's what you say. You just time. Have a good time.
Or you could be in Alaska.
Perhaps you're in a pocket dimension and there is no time where it is that you are. Oh,
gosh. Maybe.
Don't know how this broadcast got there if you're in a pocket dimension.
Because we are interdimensional. we are interdimensional. Just like Jack. We're in the. Woo! Goes on forever. It's string theory. I've learned in the future how to put our podcast through its string theory, and it's like floating through the internet.
You are hysterical.
Internet.
Okay.
Universe.
Friends.
Black hole.
We'll see ya. Bye.
Bye.